Hey everyone, welcome to our documentary, and I'm John, and I'm here at Bass Pro Shops, and I'm here to interview one of Santa's little helpers, and to see why people start getting more jobs around the holiday season. Okay, I'm John, and who am I here with today?
Cameron Furman.
So Cameron, what days or times are usually like the busiest during the holiday season?
Usually it would be usually it would just be like closer to Christmas. Sometimes Thanksgiving. That's usually the biggest on the holidays, where all the big lines and everything.
Okay, and for like Bass Pro Shops, like you get like more workers getting hired during the seasonal times for like holiday workers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Usually it's probably around like 20 workers. They usually get rehired on, but it's just for the seasonal time.
So it's like usually the same workers.
Yeah, usually sometimes the same workers, but sometimes it's workers that they get on like Indeed and such like that. But very small amount. Sometimes they reuse workers.
Can I just ask one more question?
Yeah.
Do the prices here change much during the holiday season? If so, how much? And in what direction?
Sometimes I see a decrease in this one that I've seen. Usually it's a decrease here because they want to try to help out everybody. I like Bass Pro because like they're really for the people. So they put up a lot of discounts for everybody, and I think that's when prices usually go down, is during the holidays actually.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure.
This is my brother Jake. Jake, what do you do?
I work as a shift supervisor at Starbucks.
So, how many seasonal workers would you say your store has hired this season?
I believe my store that I'm at, we've hired 4 new ones this season.
So, is there a particular time of year that you guys see a surge in customers at your guys' store?
I th- Usually during the holiday season, it's a lot more busy, especially with the release of our holiday drinks. We see a lot more people come in than other periods throughout the year.
So, when does your store see a surge in applications?
At Starbucks, we don't really have like one holiday season during like Christmas time. It usually starts more in like August and September. And so for that reason, we see a lot of people applying more right before that busy season starts, just in time for when we start hiring a lot more people, just so that we have the staff that's already trained and prepared for the holiday season, which once again starts in like August and goes till pretty much December.
So, here we have a supply and demand graph right here. The blue line is showing the supply, like the number of applicants, and the green line being the demand, being how much the jobs are actually willing to hire. On the left, you have the P is the number of workers that are actually being hired, and Q at the bottom is the number of applicants that are actually applying to the job. So as you can see, you have D1 is showing just a standard level, and then D2 is a shift that you usually see over the holidays. This is highlighted by my brother Jake in his interview. And as you can see, when the demand shifts over to the right, you have a significantly more applicants applying and much more workers being hired for that during that season.
Okay. As the holiday season comes in, demand for goods and services increases, which also increases the demand for labor for jobs. So, as seen through our interviews with Jake from State Farm.
Hey, it's my brother Jake, not Jake from State Farm.
Okay, it's same thing, bro. Jake, Zach's brother, which doesn't go to State Farm but works at Starbucks. The job demand during the holiday season is relatively inelastic because through the daily customer traffic, it increases significantly during the holiday season. So a few new workers are actually hired, but it's usually like 4 to 5 in anticipation for the holiday season.
So here we have a cost table. It shows the amount of money that a company such as Starbucks would bring in for hiring extra workers, both during the normal season and through the just a general holiday season. As you can see with the in the normal season, there's no real point in hiring extra workers as you actually start to lose money paying for their wages, and you're not really bringing in much extra money. But as we see for the holiday season, it's actually more beneficial to get around 4 to 5 workers, um, to where you're actually making the most amount of money possible during the holiday season because you have such increased customer traffic. So here we have a cost curve graph. We have it shows where MR and MC meet to show that a profit maximization area, and that lines up almost exactly. Yeah, lines up exactly with how many workers that Starbucks wanted to hire, because it's just right in that sweet spot where they're making the most money possible. But you can also see that they're not being as allocatively efficient because it would actually be cheaper to go with around 3 workers. They wouldn't be paying as much per person. The average total cost would have been lower. But once again, they're not making as much money as they could be.
So as we know, when the holiday season comes around, people are frantically trying to buy stuff. So this causes a demand increase, which when companies add an additional worker, it provides them extra utility by enabling them to help serve more customers, reduce wait times, and increase sales. But companies are often a little bit more hesitant to hire a surplus of workers since too many workers would cause the company diminishing marginal returns. And this is why explains why Bass Pro Shops brings back many of the same seasonal workers each year and adds a few new hires, and why Starbucks hires only about 4 to 5 seasonal workers.
I saw that. No,
Six,
we're
seven.
so in the market that we analyze, I would say that the structure is most like the like monopolistic competition. It has relatively low barriers to entry, um, and there's just such a vast amount. Are you doing 6 7 dog? There's such a vast amount of firms out there who are hiring workers, um, but in their own way that they have like a sort of price control where they can control the wage. So if you are paying more, you are more likely to get much more applications, and if you are paying less, you're more likely to get less applications. So I'd say it's most closely related to a monopolistic competition due to the low barriers of entry, the some price control with it, and just the vast amount of firms selling very similar but slightly differentiated products. So we can see that the reason that companies hire many more workers and there are much more applications during the holiday season and leading up to the holiday season is due to the annual holiday rush from all the customers and the increased business. So companies need to compensate with more workers and able to meet the heightened demand for the time being. This is also supported through my brother Jake's interview with his branch of Starbucks hiring 4 new seasonal workers this year, and also through the elf, who in fact himself was a seasonal worker, and described that many workers are hired routinely during the holiday season just so they can keep up with the customer rush